Hi, I'm Kevin LJ. I'm a New Zealander living in the north of Thailand who loves to garden. And in this video, I want to talk to you about this plant that so many organic and permaculture inspired gardeners really love. It's called Comfrey. I've recently been given a plant and I intend to spread it out. I want to break it up and divide it and put it into my garden in a number of different places. It's been a bit of a challenge for me. I learned about Comfrey a few years ago and have not been able to source any here in Thailand. I've tried to buy root pieces or plant divisions. I actually bought some seeds. I bought 2 packs of seeds and planted them at separate times. None of them sprouted, none of them came up at all. But recently I've been given this little plant here. It was just a little clump of roots with a few leaves on it, and I've cut the leaves back, I've potted it, and it is thriving. I've pulled a few leaves off here and there because some of them tend to yellow a bit. There's something appears to be eating them. I'm not sure what that is, but overall, I'm very, very happy with the health of this plant, and I expect it should grow pretty easily. Everything that I've learned online, that I've been reading, videos that I've been watching that have been extremely helpful, all tell me that it's very easy to grow. But unfortunately, none of the information that I've been able to learn from has been specifically talking about growing comfrey in a tropical climate. So I'm not quite sure how well it will do. When I got this plant, I kept a really good eye on it because I only had just a little bit of it. And so I nurtured it, I took care of it. I would put it out in the sun for a few hours a day and then bring it back into the shade. And it seemed to harden up fairly well. So it's been sitting out in my garden close to the kitchen for a couple of months now, and it's been enjoying part shade, part sun, and full rain whenever we get that, which has been pretty frequently recently. My plan is to separate the plant, to cut some of the roots if they're big enough, and plant those. And I'll plant some of it in pots and some of it straight in the ground. I've got a couple of areas that I've designated that I think it will grow well. One is in part shade, one is in full sun. And I'll also plant it in a couple of different types of soil. From what I've read, some people say it grows best in good soil. Well, that's given for any plant really. Other people say that it can grow quite well in very poor clayey soil. And it's actually very, very good for helping to break up and improve clay soil. Down at the back of our property, we've got soil down there that is not at all fabulous. It's very poor. And so I am going to try growing some of it in the ground down there, and then I'll get some of that soil and I'll put that in pots and see how it grows in there, just so I can keep a bit of an eye on it and monitor to see how the separations and the roots are coming along. So first of all, I need to take this out of the pot and see what is underneath the soil. To start with, I'm very happy there's 4 separate heads of plant there, so I'm encouraged by that. But let me see when we take this out. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of good root structure in there. It looks pretty healthy. And I think we'll be able to divide that up quite nicely. I'm not sure whether I should cut it or just break it apart. I think I'll just pull it gently. Try not to damage too much of the root. Oh, look at that. There's some good strong roots in there. Oh, there's another nice fat one there. Lots of smaller roots. Yeah, that's might be one of the original roots that's rotted out. Some bamboo leaves in there that I used in the pot. So there's 2 pieces there and 2 pieces there. Let me see about separating these 2. And again, I'll just break these 2 apart so that we can put them in individual pots. No, that's not going to want to separate there. I can feel something quite solid under the surface, so this one seems to want to a bit more. It's good, there's 2 pieces there that'll pot nicely. and I think there's enough roots there that I should be able to trim those and plant them individually. Look at that, even under the very surface, even right deep in the bottom of the pot, there is a shoot coming up. So we'll separate that and give him his own pot. Comfrey's a plant that's got a deep taproot. It puts down these roots far into the subsoil and draw up nutrients that aren't available to plants without such deep rooting systems. It's very similar in this respect to the king's grass that we plant here, and I'll make a video about that sometime in the near future. It's also said to help break up clay soils. We've got an area down the back of our section that we had levelled and graded, so some of the soil that's at the surface now has been 2 or 3 metres under the ground forever until now. So there's no life in it, there's no organic matter in it. So I'm keen to plant something in there that will help revitalise the soil. Comfrey's very high in nutrients that other plants enjoy, and it adds these nutrients to the soil as it breaks down. So as it grows, you can just chop it and drop it, or you can add it to the compost, or use it just as mulch around your plants, or mix it with other leaf mulch that you've gathered, and this will help that leaf mulch break down more quickly. It grows really fast. They tell me it's very easy to grow, so I'm hopeful that these small pieces that I'm dividing up today will flourish and bring me some good success. From what I've learned, these short pieces, just 2 or 3 centimetres long, are all you need to put in the ground to get Comfrey to start growing. It's also a fabulous pollinator. It has lovely purple flowers that the bees love and are very, very much attracted to. So this is another great reason to plant Comfrey in your garden. With these small plants, they're pretty easy to handle. When they're larger, I'm told that it pays to wear gloves because the surface of the leaves is quite spiky and uncomfortable on your hands. This is the main part of the original plant. It's got the 2 heads on it here, and I'll put this into a larger pot, trying hard not to disturb the roots, and filling the pot with good potting soil, and hopefully this will continue to be my main plant that I'll aim to work with and separate over time, because I've got quite a big area in my garden that I would like to fill up with this wonderful plant. So now that I've got these potted up, I will move them to a position just close to our kitchen so I can keep an eye on them. Here they'll get part sun and part shade during the day, and I'll keep track of how much rain they're receiving or if they're going to need a bit of a watering. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click subscribe so you can stay up to date. I will post updates about this experiment so you can see how I'm going in the future, and if you're subscribed, if you hit that bell icon, you'll be notified of when I upload new videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks very much for watching.